Another day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got work.
Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with people in the sick house. We're not. I'm in about as much. I don't know which company you work for, but if it's Spacer's Choice, boss, maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. Don't. Please. That's kind of you to say, I suppose. But I don't need help. What I need, company always tells us, weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall... You've got Adrena time? How? No, I don't want to know. I'm feeling a touch faint.
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't.
Aw, he ain't no threat. This'll be quick! Get it! Got it? Inside voices.
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. On the double, so... Go. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just looking at you, scanning you with it. Mechanicals have been programmed to eliminate the human race. They've been First they will rob us of our jobs. And once they have taken away our livelihoods, they...
Great work. I wanted to poke around in here. Eyes up! Nice one! Everyone all right? The control room should be off to the right. Hope we're doing the right thing. Here we go! Woo! We made it! Three switches. That'll be easy enough. Oh, you got that?
Unexpected. Searching for...
Got 'em all! There's two more. What'll happen to Miss Mc... Incoming!
Phantom!
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded. Incoming! Down they go! Woo! We made it! Where to go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to them?
Halt. Sweeping the air.
Here they come!
Ready, but searching.
Here they come!
Celeste, I'm not sure what the right is. Alls I know is the decision's final. Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
sister.
Here we go! Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker. don't matter much to me. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away. But Reed... So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my...
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa.
Are you, are things safe out here? How you...
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. Would you? I'd be grateful. I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I had one of those, I could go back to Reed and make a real case for myself. I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I had one of those, I could go back to Reed and make a real case for myself. I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody. I get sick thinking. I mentioned those... What's on your mind? Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed well... Couple months. I owe them. We all left. You could...
I don't know what you did. The matter's been... Zoe came... I don't... Listen. We go back to Reed. You better be sure about it. Yeah. You're right. And I suspect Reed's learned his lesson by now. Hey,
This is all happening so fast. If
you see Reed, let him know we're coming back.
Another day at the cannery.
Something got you down?
Nothing.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts? That's good enough for me. Adelaide and I have a history. Was unlikely she'd ever come back. But hope springs eternal. We are in your debt. I am authorizing you for a discount on all official spacers. By all means. This whole fiasco is not one I am keen on repeating. I was too hard on my own workers. I pushed them to their break. With more hands at the cannery, I expect productivity will rise. I expect we'll grow. And I expect I can ask corporate to send us some more medicine. I do. Grace Romero, wasn't it? Brusque, truculent, never seemed to care much. Protecting a camp from marauders is no small task. I'll see to fitting her out in a guard's uniform. This whole fiasco is not one I am keen on repeating. Look, we're a small, poor town on some backwater corner of Terra 2.
Almost lost a finger in the cannery today.
we should keep our voices down.
I've never actually...
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are help. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal... Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information?
Friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't.
Look at that. Good for them. I'm glad. Back to the old cannery with Grace and Thomas and Stefan. I expected it'd end like this. Lived out here. I expect you've done enough for the Vale. It is too late, and I'm tired of talking.
I know, I'm trying to think.